Most people spend their entire lives doing what the other 99% are doing. They wake up late. They chase comfort. They wait for motivation. They follow trends. They complain about life. And then they wonder why their life never changes. But the top 1% think differently. They move differently. They see differently. They live differently.
And the truth is, the gap between ordinary people and elite people is not talent.
It is mindset. Because before someone becomes powerful in life, they first become powerful in thought. And once you understand how the 1% think, you stop seeing life like everyone else. You begin to operate on a completely different level. The average person asks, "How can I avoid pain?" The 1% asks, "How can I use pain?" That alone changes everything. Most people spend their lives running from discomfort. They avoid hard conversations. They avoid failure. They avoid discipline. They avoid responsibility. They avoid pressure. But the elite understand something most people never do.
Discomfort is not the enemy.
Discomfort is the doorway. Every version of you that you want to become is hidden inside the things most people avoid. That means the 1% don't see struggle as punishment. They see it as training. While most people ask, "Why is this happening to me?" the 1% ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" That shift alone can transform your life, because average people react emotionally. Elite people respond strategically. When something goes wrong, the average person panics. The 1% stay calm. Because they know emotional control is a form of power. Anyone can stay composed when life feels easy. But very few people can stay calm when life starts collapsing. And that's exactly what separates leaders from followers. The 1% don't let their feelings control their decisions. They understand that feelings change every day, but standards do not. And one of the biggest differences in the 1% mindset is this: they do not trust motivation. They trust systems. Most people wait until they feel inspired. The 1% build routines that work, even when they feel nothing, because they understand something dangerous. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is identity. Average people ask, "How do I feel today?" The 1% ask, "What must be done?" That is why they keep moving when everyone else stops. Because success is rarely about doing something incredible once. It is about doing the ordinary things with extraordinary consistency. That is what most people underestimate. The 1% also think long-term. Average people think in days. Elite people think in decades. Most people sacrifice their future for comfort today. The 1% sacrifice comfort today to build freedom tomorrow. That's why average people spend money to look rich. The 1% invest money to become free. Average people seek entertainment. The 1% seek education. Average people consume. The 1% create. Average people react. The 1% prepare. And over time, those tiny differences create massive separation. Because success is rarely one giant moment. It is thousands of invisible decisions made correctly. Another powerful trait of the 1% is ownership. Average people blame. They blame their childhood. They blame the economy. They blame people. They blame timing. They blame luck.
But elite people take ownership.
Even when it's unfair, even when it hurts, even when it wasn't their fault. Because they understand, the moment you blame everything around you, you give your power away. And the moment you take responsibility, you take your power back. That doesn't mean life is always fair. It means powerful people refuse to become victims. And that mindset alone can completely change your life. The 1% also guard their energy. Most people give their attention to everything. Drama, social media, negativity, meaningless opinions, toxic people, and then they wonder why they feel mentally weak. But elite people know. Attention is currency. Where your attention goes, your life follows. That's why they protect their mind, protect their peace, protect their focus. Because they know you cannot build an extraordinary life with a distracted mind. And maybe the most important trait of the 1% mindset is this: they become comfortable being misunderstood. Because the moment you start thinking differently, living differently, and moving differently, people will not understand you. Some will doubt you. Some will judge you. Some will secretly want you to fail, and average people shrink when that happens. But the elite expect it, because they know if you think like everyone else, you will live like everyone else. The 1% understand that greatness often looks strange to ordinary minds, and that is why they stop seeking approval. They stop